Let me ask you, like in Back to the Future, if you could go back in time to any of the positions you have held, what will the Livia of today tell the Livia of then?
I would say two things. Well, maybe three things. First, learn to love yourself. Two, then once you love yourself, then you can be kind to yourself. And then when you're kind to yourself, then you can start to believe in yourself. And when you
Wow.
build when you build that relationship with yourself first, it just really helps you know who you are so that in all of what you do, it's it just makes it easier, right? And I think it does take time, right? When you first start teaching, it takes time to discover who you are as a teacher. And even though you go through your teacher training, it takes time to develop all the strengths, the beliefs that you have, the core values that you have. And once you do that, then you start to learn how to cultivate that joy. And I think that's the golden nugget is like, how do you cultivate joy in any work that you do? And when you are firm in who you are and what you want out of whatever it is that you do, not just teaching, but in all of your roles, in all of the spaces that you occupy, when you believe that you know what your purpose is, what a difference. And when you
Yes.
remember why you do what you do, I think the combination of all these pieces really helps to really helps you feel like you're living a life that is full of content, full of fulfillment. And when you, I think, especially when I started to see people and relationships as gifts, it's like I have gifts all around me, right? To be able to cultivate a beautiful relationship with them. And every time that I walk into my classroom and greet my students, like they're just adorable and they're full of wonder, full of curiosity. And I get to spend that time with them, right? I get to spend that time with them and to make a difference in their life and to teach them and to have laughs with them and to watch them grow, watch them discover who they are, their strengths, their passions. I cannot imagine a more wonderful job to have.
Wow. Livia, I have to ask you,
Mm-hmm.
do you ever get mad or sad? And if so, or angry? And if
I
so, what do you do to address those emotions?
Yeah. Well, first, because I've really spent time getting to know myself, that makes a huge difference because I know what my strengths are. I know what my core values and beliefs are. Am I still working on those things? Of course. I Every year I feel like I'm a stronger, a better person, and that I do know myself a little bit better. But when I do feel, uh, low or angry, not angry often, but when I am or frustrated, then I talk to myself. That like I I understand my feelings and that they are important to me, right? I have to listen to them. And that's another key is I really started to learn how to listen to myself. Started to think, okay, how do I feel right now? What are my thoughts? How am I feeling? What am I thinking? And then I've also learned to breathe because breathing helps calm my emotions and how I'm feeling, whether I'm shaking or uh, the physical aspects of feeling those negative feelings. And then I start sorting through. Okay, this is how I'm feeling. It's okay, right? I always would say your feelings are never wrong. It's what you do about it might be, not so respectful or what have you, but your feelings are there to tell you something. And so I dive into those feelings. And then at some point, I have to check in with my heart and I think, well, is this really serving me? I know I need to protect my heart. So after, I give it enough time and to think and feel, then I just kind of put it on a shelf and go, okay, I need to move on because I don't like the space that I'm in right now. It doesn't feel good. But I know I have to give it that space because I don't want to just push these feelings and thoughts under the carpet and just kind of, not deal with them and not sort through these thoughts and feelings because it's important. It's a part of who I am. And so many times I learn from these experiences, right? So I want to make sure I gain the most insight from these experiences. And whenever I am ready to move out of it or move forward a little bit, I feel like I know myself a little bit better. Right. And so it, to me, it's a gift. And I always feel like, adversity always makes us stronger in one way or another. Right. And also believing that there's an opportunity to learn. There is always a silver lining. I always believe there's a silver lining. Sometimes you have to look really, really hard to find it, right? And then I dive into gratitude. There's so many things. I live a blessed life with many, many things. All you need to do is just think about the many people who are hungry, right? Or that just don't have. I have a home. I have wonderful relationships. I love my job. There's so many things in my life, the passions that I have that bring me joy. And so I remind myself that I have a lot of things, even though this is happening in my life right now and it feels terrible or whatever the incident or situation is. I believe in myself. I can pull myself out of whatever this feeling is. And then another thing too is sometimes if it's a little thing, then I start thinking about, okay, how do I move myself out of thinking just about myself and then thinking about other people? So how do I show kindness to other people? Because when I focus on other people, then it starts to help me remind myself there are other people that are here to help me. I
Yes.
don't need to do this alone.
Mhm.
Right? And we are always stronger and better together. And I know how I feel when I help other people. And so, you don't you want to lean on other people and cry on their shoulder and we're a big support system. Every person in our lives are here for each other. So
Yes. Thank
those
you.
are
What a great way of addressing being self-aware and self-regulating. Thank you so much for those beautiful examples.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking me.